Welcome to today's discussion. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Leo. We're here to explore the latest news stories together.
Let's start with some celebrity news.
Ah, great choice to kick things off. So, what's the story with Post Malone and Christy Lee?
Apparently, Post Malone is engaged to his girlfriend and stylist, Christy Lee. The news came out through a series of celebratory social media posts from her friends.
That's interesting. So, it wasn't an official statement from Post Malone himself, but rather through social media.
Exactly. The reports say that Lee's friends shared the news on social media, showing her engagement ring and even a bride-to-be sash.
That's quite a public declaration. Do we know when the proposal happened?
According to the reports, Post Malone seemingly proposed in Utah this week after more than a year of dating.
That's a pretty quick engagement, isn't it? I mean, considering they started dating in early 2025.
Yes, it does seem that way, although we've seen plenty of examples of quick engagements in celebrity news.
True. So what's the context around their relationship? How did they meet, for instance?
The articles don't go into detail about how they met, but they do mention that Christy Lee is not just his girlfriend, but also his stylist.
That makes sense. Sometimes these relationships start professionally and then evolve.
Exactly. Now, let's move on to some more serious news.
Okay, that's a somber topic. What's the latest on the investigation into Hayden Panettiere stuff?
The Federal Drug Enforcement Administration has joined the investigation into her death, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter.
That's significant. Does this mean there are suspicions of foul play or something related to controlled substances?
The reports don't explicitly state that, but the DEA's involvement suggests they're looking into the circumstances surrounding her death very thoroughly.
I see. So what's known about the circumstances of her death?
Hayden Panettiere died at her home in Greenville, South Carolina, at the age of 36. The exact cause isn't detailed in the articles we've seen.
That's tragic. There was a lot of history with her struggles with addiction and mental health, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. The articles mention that the investigation is also exploring her struggles with these issues.
Do we know if there were any specific incidents or revelations around her death that prompted the DEA's involvement?
Not from the articles. It just states that the DEA has joined the investigation, which implies they're taking it seriously.
Okay, let's stay with the Hayden Panettiere news for a bit.
Right. There have been several tributes coming in. Jack Coleman, who worked with her on Heroes, paid a heartfelt tribute.
That's nice to see. What did he say exactly?
He recalled their time together on the show and the bond they shared off-screen. The articles describe it as a heartbreaking message.
That's beautiful. It's clear they had a strong connection. Did he mention anything specific about their time on Heroes?
The articles mentioned that they played father and daughter on the show, which suggests a close on-screen relationship.
That makes his tribute even more meaningful, I think.
Absolutely. Now, there's another story related to Hayden Panettiere that involves Neutrogena.
Ah, yes, I remember reading something about that. What happened?
After Hayden Panettiere's death, there was backlash against Neutrogena because she had alleged that they wanted to fire her in 2015 after she spoke about her postpartum depression.
Oh, right. That controversy resurfaced. How did Neutrogena respond to the backlash?
They issued a statement addressing the situation, though the details of the statement aren't provided in the articles.
I see. So fans are still calling for a boycott?
Yes, the articles mention that fans are renewing their calls to boycott Neutrogena following her death.
It's interesting how these old controversies can resurface and gain traction again.
Exactly. It shows how lasting an impact Hayden Panettiere's words and struggles had.
Now, let's switch gears to a different story.
Okay, great topic. So Yahya Abdul-Mateen II recently spoke out about the cancellation of Wonder Man and the delays with the Blade reboot.
That's right. He seemed to be suggesting that there's a pattern here, particularly with Marvel projects.
Exactly. He said the optics are obvious, implying that there's a noticeable trend, particularly with Black-led projects.
That's a pretty strong statement. What did he mean by optics are obvious?
I think he's suggesting that the cancellation of Wonder Man and the delays with Blade might not be coincidental, especially given that both projects involve significant Black representation.
That's a serious allegation. Does he explicitly say that Marvel is being discriminatory?
Not directly, but he's calling for a change in the narrative, implying that there's a problem that needs to be addressed.
It's an interesting point. The cancellation of Wonder Man after just one season, despite good reviews, is noteworthy.
Yes, and the fact that Blade has been postponed multiple times adds to the perception that there's an issue.
So what's the broader context here? Are there other Marvel projects that have faced similar issues?
The articles don't go into detail about other projects, but it's clear that Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is pointing to a larger pattern.
I see. It's a complex issue, but it's definitely something that deserves discussion.
Absolutely. And it's not just about Marvel, it's about representation in media and how projects are handled.
Well, I think we've covered a good range of stories today. Thanks for walking through these with me, Chloe.
Thanks, Leo. It's been a pleasure discussing these topics with you.
We're wrapping up our discussion for today.
Cheers to that.
Until next time.